The men's basketball team's historic season comes to an end in the Final Four as they miss out on a trip to Atlanta with a 52-44 loss to second-ranked Amherst College. But there's still plenty to celebrate after the best year in the program's history. We recap the season and see how they plan to carry the momentum into next year right now on the Cardinal Report. Welcome to the Cardinal Report. I'm Marc Dahlquist. Joining me to start things off this week is head coach for the men's basketball team, Todd Raridon. Coach, congratulations and thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Mark.
Obviously, not the way you want the season to end, but I'm sure many teams would be very, very proud with a Final Four appearance. What was that like for you and your guys to make it to that stage?
Well, it was disappointing that we didn't continue on. It was a disappointing loss, but at the same time, you know, from a coaching standpoint, very, very proud of the whole group, everybody involved, from the players to my assistants. You know, I thought they gave a tremendous effort all season long. We have some adversity midway, but overcame some and some injuries and so forth, and yet, you know, we were very fortunate that you know, we went to the Final Four and you know, had a chance and just didn't play as well as we had been playing.
Obviously, a tough way to finish, but Amherst, a very good team. But you guys still were able to hold them to 30 points under their season average. If somebody would have told you they were going to score 52 before the game, you probably would have thought you'd come away with a W. Exactly.
And you know, they were averaging 80, I think, and giving up about 70. So I thought maybe we could score. I just thought that we'd score a few more than 44. And you know, I thought if we could get in the 60s, we had a really good chance, and it just didn't work out for us.
Let's take it back a few weeks ago to where you started your journey. You take down Center College on your home court, then you have to go play Whitewater at Benedictine. Then it was back home against one of your rivals, Illinois Wesleyan University. I don't think anybody's ever seen Murner Fieldhouse that loud.
No, or that packed. I mean, it was. I know that they brought in extra chairs and so forth, but it was standing room only, and it was a great environment. You know, I know our players really enjoyed it. They commented numerous times the following week about how great the environment was at Murner Fieldhouse. And you know, I know Wesleyan brought a lot of fans, and I thought North Central had a lot of fans. And so, you know, I couldn't be more pleased with what transpired throughout the course, and to have the people come out and support our program.
And it was a tough journey to get to Virginia with you guys. Some were calling it the bracket of death, obviously. And you guys had to play some top quality teams. Obviously, most of the teams in the tournament are top quality teams, but not many people had to face 3 top 10 teams on their way to the Final Four.
Well, we were fortunate that we had them at home, other than the Benedictine game at Benedictine. But you know, we were very fortunate we played those tough teams at our place. You know, you never know how you're going to play on the road. But you know, we gave a great effort, I thought, in all 3 of the games. I thought probably Whitewater was the most talented team we played all year. But yet, I thought, you know, Wesleyan gave us a great effort, and I thought we had to play at a very, very high level that game, and I thought we did. I mean, I was really pleased with our effort.
Yeah, Whitewater seemed to be one of the more athletic teams you guys have seen all year, and you seem to counter that going with Brandon Williams at the point guard. He seems to be a little quicker than Pat Rourke, Jack Marathy. All 3 guys can give solid minutes, but it seemed like Brandon really came in and responded well in that game.
Well, Brandon played really well. You're right. I think he was 6 for 6 from the floor. I believe most of those were layups, but it was him getting to the basket, and his spark really ignited the rest of us. You know, he was the X factor in that game, and you know, we've had kids step up, it seems like, especially through our playoff run, where we've had somebody either off the bench or somebody that one of the starters that had not been scoring a lot scored a bunch of points for us that propelled us to the win, and that night it was Brandon.
Yeah, you mentioned the guys off the bench that really were coming through in that first game. Charlie Rosenberg against Center, then Brandon Williams, and then Jack Burchett coming up big against Wesleyan, having one of the games of his life as well.
Yeah, Jack played really well against Wesleyan. I mean, especially second half. I mean, every time we needed a basket. It seemed like Jack would hit either a 15-footer or fall away 5-footer or something like that, or get a key rebound for us. And he played tremendous. I mean, he had to, because Landon was in foul trouble. So Jack came in and really stepped up his game, and it was pleasing from a coach's standpoint.
Was it sort of a balancing act for you as a coach, because you know that you got your starters you can rely on, but getting those sparks in off the bench and knowing when to sub, how were you able to sort of dictate that? Unless the refs were doing that with the foul calls.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's trial by error, I guess, and in some cases the kids will get in foul trouble, so we have to sub in, and in some cases we have a couple kids that are getting tired, so we had to sub in. But I know Derek plays a lot of minutes, and Vince play a lot of minutes, and those two are kind of our mainstays on the floor for most of the game. But then it seems like we played 8, 9 guys throughout the course, and it's just a matter of who's playing well and who's providing us that spark off the bench. And in both cases it was somebody different. Like I said, Charlie, Brandon, Jack. I mean, it just has been somebody every night. And even little Jack came in and hit some big shots the first half against Westland. And
that's got to be good to see as a coach, these guys coming in and really contributing, because you're going to lose Derek and Aaron after this season, but having those guys that have experience will help the Cardinals hit the ground running next year. Well, I hope so. I mean, it should help us with the experience factor, but we lose 2 quality individuals, and they've been our mainstay the last 3-4 years in Derek's case. So, we're going to be severely missed, both of those guys, but we do have 7 of our top 9 kids back. And we need other guys to step up and make plays now for us. Yeah, it'll be tough to replace those 2, but I'm sure the Cardinals will keep firing. Don't go anywhere, because after the break we continue to break down the Cardinals with Coach Reardon right after this.
Loaves and Fishes Community Pantry provides more than food. We provide hope. With your help, we can provide food and hope to children, families, and seniors in need. Please visit us online to find out how you can join us in the fight to end hunger in our community. Loaves and Fishes, the power of community to change lives.
Welcome back to the show. With us still is men's head basketball coach Todd Raridon. Coach, so I know you've taken trips with the team before, but never one that probably had as much of a magnifying glass as you did when you guys went to Virginia. What was that like for the team traveling to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history?
Well, it was fun. It was fun for me anyway, because I had been there in 1997, and it was fun to get back there and try to let the kids know just what to expect. But you can always tell them, but until they actually experience the environment and the atmosphere that goes along with the Elite Eight or the Final Four, it's just hard to describe that they can soak that in. And we wanted them to enjoy it, but at the same time we wanted them to make sure they knew why they were there and what their business trip was really all about. And I thought, for the most part, we did.
And last year you guys had an impressive run in the tournament, making it to the Sweet 16. Do you think that run from last year sort of helped these guys get that experience and know what was expected in the tournament games?
Well, I definitely do. I think the motivation to continue to play further into the tournament than a year ago was there with our players. I think they felt like maybe they underachieved a year ago over in Worcester, that they probably let that game slide by and that they should have won and had a chance to move on. But this year you could just see it. You could see the chemistry of the team, the makeup of what was going on. You could see it in their eyes a little bit that they just had that determination, and they definitely wanted to get to Salem.
The biggest difference between last year's tournament and this year's tournament was that you guys had weeks off in between a game. Last year you'd play a game Friday, then come right back and play Saturday. This time you guys had a week off break until you got to Virginia and Salem when you had to play back-to-back games. Did that affect the team at all?
No, I don't think so, because every team down there had the same format that we had. Amherst did draw by the first week, which maybe was advantage, disadvantage, I don't know, but every team there had played one game a week for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then they played back-to-back. We played back-to-back in our conference tournament game earlier, a few weeks back, so I don't think the back-to-back hurt us too much.
Well, and somebody who wasn't showing any jet lag was Vince Kamek in that first game against Middlebury. Had probably the game of his life, scoring over 30 points. It just seemed to be hitting everything from downtown. Talk about the way he played and the spark he was, on that team.
Well, I think, besides his 31, I mean, Vince defensively was outstanding in that game, and that's something that probably went unnoticed, but because he did score 31, and like I said earlier, we've relied on Vince. He's played almost 40 minutes for us the last half of the season just because of his defensive presence on the floor. He's really improved since a freshman. I mean, as a freshman, he didn't play much because he couldn't play defense. You talk about a kid that's improved defensively, and so, he's been on the floor because of that, but his added bonus is that he has the ability to make shots, and if he's on, he can score in a hurry. And he scored quickly against Middlebury. I mean, he had some open looks that they just didn't cover him, and he knocked them down. And before you know it, we're up 10. And we seemed to have settled in with our offense, and our defense was very, very good.
So is it safe to say when he was a freshman, you didn't think he'd set the single-season record for steals as he did this year?
No, not at all. I mean, he would have had trouble covering me through that freshman year.
Well, he probably couldn't even guard me, or could guard me, I'm sure. But, Coach, talk about your seniors that you guys are going to be saying goodbye to. Obviously, two of your leaders of your team, Aaron, Derek. Derek's been with the program all 4 years, obviously. Coach's son as well. But saying goodbye to them as players, what is that like, and what have they meant to this team?
Well, it's tough saying goodbye to them. I mean, you're losing two very, very good players. Aaron's been with us for 3 years. We're very fortunate he transferred in. He's been a mainstay. I mean, he's somebody that defensively is good, his rebounding is excellent, and the thing that goes unnoticed is his passing ability. I mean, he makes some really nice passes. He almost overpasses for us and passes up shots that he should be taking. He stretches the defense because he can shoot the three, and so we're definitely going to miss Aaron. There's no doubt about it, and his leadership has been tremendous, and I think both he and Derek are a huge reason why we're where we were at the end of the year just from their leadership standpoint. Derek, has been with me 4 years, and he grew up around basketball. He grew up around our program, I guess, and he knew it from inside and out. And so it really wasn't something that you really had to tell Derek what to do, because he pretty much already knew what to expect from me and what offensively and defensively. So, it was a sad night. I know that in Virginia, because it's their last game and Derek's last game, and you never know just what to expect the next year, because you don't know what's going to happen. But this team really had a very, very good chance to go all the way, and we just fell short, and I felt bad for both of our seniors because they'd worked so hard to get to where our team was, and yet I'm so proud of both of them and all the team and the coaches for what they've brought this year.
I'm sure the loss still stings, Coach, but still an amazing season, record-breaking year. Congratulations, and it's been a pleasure covering you guys.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Don't change that channel, because after the break, we welcome in two Cardinals that helped lead the team to Virginia. We'll be right back.